Hi guys! Thanks for stopping by my channel, whether this is your first time or you've been here a time or two. Today we are talking about Flower Friday. That is what I'm now calling it. I'm going to try to stick with a weekly vlog of my garden so you guys can truly see the progression every week, and hopefully it keeps me a little bit more held accountable to weeding the garden, deadheading it, and truly just slowing down. To start us out, we had a really bad windstorm and a bunch of branches came down, so I decided to clean it up and help my hubby out. That and it was just bugging me, so I thought, why not? Sorry about the light changing. As you can tell with this time lapse, it was a windy day and a very cloudy day, and it's crazy how much the lighting will change, which seems like a little bit, but I mean, it was still changing a lot in real time too. And because of the weather, it just felt like rain, so I decided to not divide tubers that day. So flash forward to the next day, and here are all my tubers. So you could see it's kind of chaotic. I'm getting growth on some of them, which is a good sign. However, I had so many tubers, and last fall when I dug everything up and stored them away, I had just found out I was getting laid off from my job, and mentally I just wasn't there. And then I actually cut a lot of this out because everything that was in a plastic bag ended up being moldy. I hadn't realized that my husband Matt had stacked the boxes, so anything that was in plastic bags got moldy because it couldn't have air. So yeah, I had a good cry. I stopped filming and then I told myself I had to get this done. So thankfully, there were still a lot of tubers that were healthy and showing signs of growth. However, a lot of my favorites, RIP, they did not make it. But yeah, I was gonna show more video of how I divide tubers, but honestly, I was just thankful to get any of it done. Uh, I was big upset. So flash forward to another day, I finally decided to put all of our flowers that we got from the greenhouse in containers. These are all annuals, and I did speed it up a little bit. This isn't anything too crazy, but we have had these barrel flower pots for 4 or 5 years, and they're looking a little rough. We actually got them from Tractor Supply. I love Tractor Supply. They have so many cute containers. I should have probably sanded this container down and then sealed it with a waterproof varnish or something of that kind, but it'll be next year. Between the dahlias and just getting back into the swing of things with my garden this year, I told myself, let's not overdo it. And typically, I normally put something tall in the back, then geraniums in the middle, and then some kind of trailing flower or vine in the front. But these geraniums were so big that I put the geraniums in the back and then did two different flowers that will kind of hang down the basket as they grow. And since I have two of these barrels, I did like a mirror image of them, so they reflect off of each other instead of being exactly the same. I present you another container from Tractor Supply. Literally, I love their containers, and they've held up pretty well for their price. So once I got all of my wooden containers done, I had bought these hanging baskets off of Amazon for trying to DIY my own hanging baskets this year to save on money. I really like these hanging baskets. However, I only got the 10-inch size, which when I bought them, I really was not thinking about size. I figured since that was the most popular size and a pretty affordable option, that they would be great. And looks wise, they are. I'm just used to really big hanging baskets, and these are a little bit on the small side, especially because I'm putting 4 different flowers in them, And yeah, so I don't know what they're going to look like long term. I'm sure everything will be completely root bound by the end of season. So I do recommend these planters, and they actually come in a bunch of different like wire designs depending on your personal preference. I am really happy with the quality, especially for the price. However, I would get at least a 12-inch or even a 14-inch size if you're going to do hanging baskets for your porch. Now, if you wanted to put these out like within your garden on like a shepherd's hook or anything like that, I think this size is perfect for that. I have linked these in the description if you're interested. I am going to link the 12-inch size though. If you guys want to get whatever size you want, go right ahead. Like all of my Amazon links, I am an Amazon affiliate, so I do receive a small commission, but I buy all of these products. I pay for them myself, so getting a little bit of commission off of things I really like is super beneficial to me, to making these videos, and to letting you guys know about products I like. Anyways, getting back to what I'm actually doing, I staggered the colors. So I did 3 petunias and then one of the other type of flower that I listed all of the flowers that I got and what they're good for on my previous vlog when we went to the greenhouse. But I staggered the colors. So it went purple, pink. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. It is a bit of a mind game with this though, looking at how my hanging baskets looked after coming from the greenhouse. It's kind of like my hanging baskets looked a little womp womp because these plants are just starting to bloom. And the ones in the greenhouse have been planted and made for weeks and weeks and weeks. So, as a girl who is used to having hanging baskets from the greenhouse, it was a little bit of a disappointment, but I'm happy to say the future Sam, hi, coming from a couple weeks since I made this because I'm a little bit behind on content. I'm loving them. I'm really happy with how they look, and you just got to trust the process. And as the quote says, the ones who plant gardens hope for the future, or something like that. But seriously, you just have to let them grow and they'll fill out. And I really just am so happy with this. Now I had the genius idea of a much better view to put this on a upside down container I had. And I'm going to plant my strawberry plants. So strawberry plants are supposed to be spaced out a decent amount, but we have 6 plants and I have limited room, so I put 2 plants in this container. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I wasn't expecting these hanging baskets to be so small, and I would have sent them back and got new ones, but my first shipment of these hanging baskets actually got damaged before I even got them. Delivery company actually sent these back to the seller, so I'm guessing that something happened to them, and by the time I actually got these hanging baskets, it was a full week later than what I had hoped. So we made do. And like I said, future me, very happy. I did add to the soil some plant food. These are season long strawberry producing plants. And I saw a bunch of recommendations about how you should give them plant food in the soil while you plant them, and then more as the season goes on. Now, the most important part of your containers is to water them. Give them a good soak. I normally water them till a little bit of water starts coming out the bottom. You don't want to overdo it because any of the water coming out through the bottom is actually just pulling all the nutrients in the soil out with it. So try not to overdo it. And then I normally judge how wet things are by like lifting up my hanging baskets from the bottom to see if they're heavy or if they're light. If they're light, obviously I give them more water. Okay, and here's a little sneak peek of my front porch. Look at my peonies in bloom. I love peonies so much, but they only last like 5 days. I would love them so much more if they could last a little bit longer. That's my biggest gripe with peonies, but when they do bloom, they are totally worth it. And the whole little view from my peonies to the planters next to my milk cans. My milk cans actually came from my grandpa. He got them for our wedding because I got married on my grandpa's farm and my grandpa has since passed. So I cherish my milk cans, even though they do need to be painted a little bit. But I am just in love with how the planters turned out. I can't wait to see them grow over the season. They're seriously so pretty, and I think we did a good job on picking out flowers. Okay, see, look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Just think of that all filled out. The gorgeous skies. I love Michigan. I really, truly love where I live. And I love seeing these flowers trail over the side. And I can't wait to see them bloom even more this season. That's one of the things I hope that if you guys stick around for this vlog is that you will enjoy to see the progress every week of how these come along because it is really fun to see. At first, it might seem like it's a lot of work for not a lot of payoff, but by the end of the season, oh my gosh, so much changes. Okay, now we're moving forward to Memorial Weekend, and this is where I plant my dahlias and my cut flowers. It's nice because we already have the fence there, and the fence holds up the dahlias as they get taller. So you can see the grass has taken over. We did a couple of flower boxes that we made out of treated lumber, but financially we couldn't always cut it and we didn't see worth it. But we are hoping to add to that in the future. So I took some newspaper we had and some leftover mulch and kind of put it behind the boxes by the fence row to help with the grass. So hopefully we don't have as much growing over this year. Matt did come to help out and he doesn't always like being on camera. So I didn't film any of it with him, but you can see the color difference. Look at my anemones, oh my gosh. But of the soil is a lot darker because we did add a topsoil onto all of our boxes and we did plant the dahlias already. I didn't film any of it, sorry. Matt was there. But you can see some of the dahlias already coming up. We actually had a bunch survive the winter that we didn't get dug up. Now, these are the flowers we are planting too. I have never grown zinnias or cosmos, even though I've had these seeds forever. My dahlias took up this whole area, but I took the opportunity to plant some new flowers since I lost a lot of my dahlias. Now, you can see these cages. We had leftover fencing from when we built our fence and we just curled them over and they help a lot hold up the dahlias as they grow through, and it also keeps bunnies out from eating the growth and deer and our neighbor's cats from using the bathroom in it. So I really like the grates and you can see it was such a huge difference. In honor of you guys sticking through this long, I wanted to show you all of the flowers currently so you can really see the growth over time. And we will start out with this gorgeous iris and I will stop chit-chatting so you can just enjoy the beauty of everything. truly hope you loved today's video. If you could leave an emoji of your favorite flower or comment below, I would love it. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like this content, and I hope to see you next week for Floral Friday. Bye guys.